What's going on, guys? Groove here, back with another book review, and today we have The Hidden Cost of Money by Seb Bunny. I've read a lot of books on money, and this one is pretty much like when you go to the restaurant and you can't figure out what starter to get, so you just get them all, you just get the sampler. Like this is what this book is. And he kind of just hits on some key points on everything about money, the history of money, the current system we have today. He just goes over a lot of stuff. He just starts out in this book talking about, hey, I don't want to scare you or alarm you, but I'm just going to state the facts as they are. He doesn't attack the government or the current and the Federal Reserve and the current monetary system we're under right now. And he's just asking questions. And again, he's making the reader come to the conclusions for themselves. And so how the book starts out with understanding that your money is withering away in this current monetary system that we live under. Most people don't understand your money is your life. Like when you go to work, a job, or whatever you're doing, you're trading your time for money, and your time is your life. And so you need to understand when you get paid, that money is not just something to go buy groceries with. That is your life. All your energy is wrapped up into those dollars or whatever currency you have or whatever country you live in. And most people don't think about that. So, again, he makes you look at money not just as something to go buy stuff with, but you have to look at it like, this is my life, this is my time, this is my energy. And then we go into understanding the system that we're under and how this current system is slowly withering your life away. So now you have to just go back and work harder and harder year after year to get that same energy back. The economists will just sit there and say that inflation is normal. All of these things that are happening are just normal and they're just part of the system. Just like inflation is normal, people losing jobs, every so often is normal. The system needs to be reset every so often. Like all of these, boom and bust cycles, like 2008 with the housing market crash, they sit there and say that this is normal, but he questions like, this isn't normal. This is just the current monetary system that we live under. There's a lot of people today that will sit there and say that, oh, we need to get rid of this capitalist system. It's not this capitalism is bad, it's the way that we do the system that is bad. When the government and the Federal Reserve, when they can they control the money, when they can just print it up and just divvy it out wherever they want to whoever they want to, like that is not a true free market capitalist system, which is what would be better for society if we moved under that system. All throughout the book, he's constantly just asking you questions. Is this monetary system that we currently live under, is that setting people up to thrive, or is that setting people up for failure? Again, he's not attacking anything. He's just asking these questions. Is it setting us up for failure? And and then you question it, and it's just like, well, I'm looking outside right now, and young people are pretty much giving up on life. People can't afford homes. More people are moving back home with their parents. More people are living in their cars today. It's like, wow, like is this monetary system that we live under, is this helping us thrive, or is it, setting us up for failure? Should we change the system? Again, he's not sitting there saying that we need to do all these things, and he's just asking you the question, and you're like, you know what? This thing is kind of messed up. Maybe things do need to change. He goes over how the money system like kind of destroys and like erodes away society. It destroys families. It makes people want to go out there and buy more stuff. Like it just turns you into a consumer more than a saver. He talks about how the cost of living just continuously climbs through the roof. Like it never goes down. It just continuously goes up. He talks about unproductive business practices. Like there are a lot of companies that make no money and they just get loans from the government to just stay afloat and to keep going. And how that is not good for society to just keep failing businesses alive. And that's just not good for society. It's not good for the economy. You really can't determine which companies are good and which companies are bad if they keep, if the government and the Federal Reserve are just keeping these companies alive just because they can. Living under this monetary system is an infringement on free speech. Whenever you infringe on somebody's free speech, you are controlling this person's thoughts, and the way they think and the way they move. And you need to be able to let somebody know, hey, this is wrong. We shouldn't do it this way. It doesn't mean you have to, attack somebody, but just voice your concerns, voice your opinions. But when, your paycheck is controlled, like now you can't speak up about anything. And now you're just kind of just like put your head down and just mind your business and, let the people in charge rule over you, and that's not good. And all of that just comes into this, within this money system that we live under currently. One fun fact that he said in the book that was new to me is, so most people don't know that the Federal Reserve, these are the people that control the money, right? They're the ones who print up the money. They're the ones who, they say who gets money when they get money. Now, they are pretty much controlled by the government, but those are the people that print up the money. They create the money. And most people don't understand the Federal Reserve is not federal. So it's not actually a part of the government, and it's not a reserve. They don't actually hold any money, but that name was just given to them to kind of fool the regular, American people. Like, oh, like Federal Reserve, like this is some big corporation company that's owned by the government. It should be good to go. But the Federal Reserve is just it's a privately owned company. That's the part that was new to me. Like, I didn't know it was just I knew it was a company, but it's a privately owned company. Like, so there's a group of people behind the scenes that own the Federal Reserve that you have no idea who they are, and you can't invest into this company, and you can't tell them what to do. Their shareholders, their private shareholders behind the scenes, those are the people who make the decisions about what the Federal Reserve will do. Now, of course, they do that in conjunction with the government, so it's like a symbiotic relationship. But again, that was new to me. I didn't know that the Federal Reserve was owned by a group of people behind the scenes. And those are the people who make the decisions about, who's going to go into the Federal Reserve and who's working there and what kind of policies they should do. Again, with him touching on different points, he wants to point out that, your money is a reflection of you. Like, your money, it's not just, again, when we get paid, like, people just think, oh, like, I'm going to pay my rent or I'm going to go take a trip. But your money is a reflection of you. And so if you're not able to spend the money the way you want to, like if you want to go do something, but you're like, oh, I don't have that money. Like if I wanted to go to a concert, but I can't go because I can't afford it. Like it literally erodes who you are as a person. We live under this bad monetary system. And again, it's not just how many dollars can you get. It takes away who you are as an individual and a person, as a person, and you can't even express yourself. So, money affects us in all different, areas of life, like psychologically. Another fun fact that he states in the book is fiat, which was new to me, so the word fiat. We all know that we live under a fiat money system. Well, maybe some people do, maybe other people don't, but we do live under a fiat money system. And fiat is Latin for let it be done. And it's a decree from the king. So at any time the king wanted to say something, or an emperor, he would say, fiat, like let it be done. And so again, our current money system, it's not backed by anything other than this decree of let it be done by the state. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't understand, where the word fiat came from. And it just means that, by order of the state. So we're going to use these dollars because we say so. Like other than that, it's not backed by gold or any precious metals. It's just we're using this because we said so, by order of the state, by order of the country. And so, yeah, so you don't have a choice to use anything else other but dollars because somebody in power said so. I thought that was pretty funny. So then later on in the book, he talks about how to can we fix the system? Can we fix the current system that we're under? Like, without going to another one, can we fix the current one? And he says, no, he says, we're literally at a point of no return now. We've printed up so much money so when you print up money, you're pretty much borrowing from your future. He says, we've printed up so much money that we've literally printed our way into, like, we're borrowing for 300 years into the future. And there's no way we can pay that back or repay that debt. And so the only thing left to do is either to let the system blow up, and which is bad for everybody, which they're not going to do. So instead, they're just going to keep printing. So they're going to keep making bigger deficits. They're going to keep printing more money. That's them trying to kick the can down the road. And so in the future, again, things are just going to get way more expensive. Bread is going to go through the roof. Gas is going to be $10 a gallon. And your paychecks are going to go up too. So mentally you won't be like, this is kind of wrong, but the average paycheck will probably be like $100,000 in the future. But when bread is $8, $9, when gas is $10, $11, like what does it matter at that point? And so, but that's them kicking the can down the road as far as they can with just continuously printing money over and over again. Housing prices are going to go up. The average house is probably going to be $600,000, $700,000. He says that's pretty much all that's left is you either let the system blow up or you just keep printing money and kicking that can down the road. But it'll blow up eventually. Every country, every civilization throughout history who's ever went to a fiat standard, they've all been wiped out. They've all blown up. It's all failed. It's going to blow up eventually. Do we know when? Nope. But yeah, this is not good. because a lot of people are struggling right now because they don't understand capitalism. Like a lot of people today will sit there and say, well, we need to go to a socialist system where, you know, everybody just has equal, you know, everybody just gets the same amount of money. That'll fix the system. Or, you know, maybe a communist system. And so he goes into breaking those down and understanding why a socialist system wouldn't work, why a communist system wouldn't work, but why a capitalist system would work. But again, he stresses the fact that the current system that we live under is not a true capitalist system. It is a fiat capitalist system, which again, it's a controlled capitalist system. Like somebody is in control of the money. They can print it up and send it wherever they want to. And he says that's the system that is failing, and that system doesn't work. And we need to go to a more sound money, a more fixed supply money. And he is a big proponent of Bitcoin for doing that. And with Bitcoin comes a free market capitalist system where only those who make goods and services that people want will thrive, which is really the way we should be doing it. You know, if somebody's going to make a business, they need to, you know, come up again with goods and services that are going to help people and that people want to buy. And if not, then they should get priced out and that business should fail. And this also, it equals out, you know, business. So if somebody's a shoemaker and they're charging $100 for shoes and somebody else is charging $80 for shoes, well, then this person who's trying to overcharge you for shoes, nobody's going to go shop with them in that business anymore. And so they're going to have to lower their prices to meet demand. But again, when we live in a monetary system where, you know, money is just printed up at will and given to these companies that don't produce anything good or maybe overcharging you to keep them alive, that's not good for the system. You know, at the end of everything, we need to go to a fixed monetary supply system, a free market capitalist system. The current system that we live under is just, it's literally spiraling out of control. And the current people in power, the Federal Reserve, they're just going to keep printing money to just try to get us out of this situation for as long as we can. But in the end, this current system, it will fail. But nobody knows exactly when. 20, 30, 40, 50 years, nobody knows when. But they've all failed throughout history. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this book. I really like this book. Again, it literally touched on every little single point. You know, talking about money, the system of money, the history of money, what it does to you psychologically, and why we need to get rid of this system without like bashing the system. He's just asking questions the entire time and making you question the system that we live under. So you come to your own conclusions about, you know, the current system. I really appreciated that about the book. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.